Welcome back to the channel. We're doing country style gravy and biscuits. Let's get started. The gravy and biscuit is that country staple. Making this super simple. Get you a large bowl, 2 cups of flour. In this little bowl right here, I got a tablespoon baking soda, tablespoon of sugar, and then 2 teaspoons of salt. 1 whole stick of butter, frozen. You want this thing cold. I do this with a cheese grater, just to make it easy. If the butter gets a little soft, is that gonna be the end of the world? It's not, it's gonna be fine. You just wanna shred it up, the whole stick. We're just gonna add this butter. If you're worried about all these ingredients, they will be linked below. I don't have a pastry cutter, but you can use a fork or you can just use this whisk. That's what I like to do. I just whisk it around and I just kind of stab it a little bit. You're looking for small chunks of butter all around. Give it one more whisk after you get it all mashed up and make you a little well in the center, just like that. All right, I just got some whole milk right here. We're gonna start off with 1 cup. Dump it in the center. And this is where you gotta be careful when you're making biscuits, because the harder you work this stuff, the tougher them biscuits are gonna be. So you just wanna lightly incorporate this flour. Give it about 10, 15, easy whip. And you may have to add a little bit of milk, but it looks like this is gonna be perfect. And how you know if you got this texture right, the way I make biscuits, I always want my dough to be a little sticky. I don't want it to be to where it falls off my hands. That means you got a dry dough. Get your little flour jar, no particular measurement. I put a little flour here, then I put some on my board. We got this in a little ball type deal, and we're just gonna kind of work this around. And you can tell when you have soft dough, you know you're gonna have some soft biscuits. And I can tell you right now, I can't stress to you how important it is not to overwork that dough. You'll feel it too. After you make a couple batches, you'll be like, man, this dough's tough. So anyway, I just wanna pat this out just a little bit, and then we wanna add a few layers to this. So we're just gonna fold it over. We wanna do this 5 times. All right, and this is the thickness I like my biscuits, right here. So what I'm gonna do now, well, get all that off my hands, kind of work it flat, and I got a little biscuit dough cutter. What I'm gonna do, work it around that flour, biscuit. But you can make them however you wanna make. If you want them to rise up a little higher, guess what? Cut them a little thicker. And if you work them around the dough like this, they won't stick to the board. They'll pick that flour up. We got a little baking sheet right here, my little cast iron pan I like to use. It's already been greased up. I'm just gonna start laying my biscuits out. And look, when you put them close together, it's gonna help them rise. It's gonna help them rise together. So you definitely wanna do that. So now that we got them on our baking sheet, we got the Traeger preheated to 425. We're gonna go ahead and get these biscuits in that oven. All right, so we got our biscuits on 425. We're gonna leave them in here for 10 to 12 minutes and then we'll come back and check on them. But let's get that gravy started. I do 2 tablespoons of butter, 1/2 pound of sausage. Let's get over to that skillet. To a preheated cast iron. I'm on medium heat right now. Cast iron's completely preheated. Putting our butter down. That sausage in there. If you're wondering why am I putting butter in here, it's because later that's what we're going to use to make this gravy. We need a little more grease. I just know from experience, this sausage is not that greasy. Make sure you cook that sausage till it's completely done, no pink. So after 5 minutes, this is what you're after right here. Fully cooked through sausage. A lot of people at this point will take the sausage out and then make the gravy, and that is just crazy. So what I do, 1/4 cup of flour, that's what I start with. I just start sprinkling the sausage just like this. Depending on how much fat you have in your sausage, you may have to adjust this just a little bit. So I know I need a little bit more. Want to keep stirring it around. We want to cook this flour for at least a minute just to get that raw flour taste out. And you'll start smelling. It'll give that sausage kind of a nutty flavor. And when you start smelling that, or everything starts smelling good, oh yeah, it's time to add that milk or cream, whatever you like. And you can see that sausage is turned a little lighter, and that's kind of what I'm looking for. Just go on and add a little bit more. We'll add the whole 1/4 cup. Going with this heavy whipping cream. Put about 1 cup to start with. Let it thicken up. Add a little more. And you can use milk if you want to. 1/2 and 1/2. But that heavy cream, man, it makes it real good. And then I just take a little whole milk and I'll start thinning it out after that. I want to add a little more milk. About 1/2 cup of that whole milk. And a lot of people will make gravy and it tastes like milk. And if you've been doing that, the reason is you're not letting it cook long enough. You got to let all these flavor incorporate. You got to let it thicken up. You're not going to burn it. Just keep stirring it. It's going to be fine. So once I add that milk, this is when I want to start seasoning my gravy. And you can put whatever you want in this gravy, and you got to season to taste. So I'll start off with some salt. Then I just want to dust the top with pepper. I'll say probably about a teaspoon of pepper, but I like pepper. Stir this around. And the whole time I got this thing on medium heat. Sneak peek on these biscuits, 7 minutes in. Oh yeah, you can already see the layers. We got to get it shut down. We don't want to lose our heat. Let's get back to that gravy. We'll come back to these biscuits in a minute. That gravy's looking done. Let's give it a try. That's it. Gravy's ready. Let's check on them biscuits. Biscuit time. Oh, and that's what you want. You're not gonna get the golden brown crust of the Traeger grill because all your heat's coming from the bottom. Trust me, those biscuits are done and they're gonna go real good with this gravy. Let's get them off and try this thing. Them biscuits, that gravy, it's all smelling good. Look at these biscuits. I mean, I'm telling you, I got to definitely try this little bitty one. Oh yeah, them biscuits are off the chain. Plate this thing up. Can't wait any longer. I gotta give these things a try. Oh my God. If y'all never tried biscuit and gravy, or you've been scared to make your own biscuits and you use the gravy packet, give this recipe a try. Till next time, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching.